Hi, welcome back to my channel and thanks for watching. So I'm really excited about today's video because I'm going to be showing you my latest barefoot shoe purchase, and that is the XERO Shoes Z Trek sandal. I only got these in the post this morning, so I haven't worn them outdoors yet. This is going to be a first impressions, first look sort of video. I'm really excited to show them to you. I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory as to why I'm so excited about them. I'm going to run through so far what I feel the benefits and the disadvantages of them maybe are. So yeah, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so the Z Trek XERO Shoe sandal. So XERO Shoes is the company that I've purchased these from, and these are the Z Trek model. So I'm just going to show them to you here. So these are the brown colour. They do several other colours as well, and I actually had to get these from the American site. So they have a UK site and also a European site. Unfortunately, I did have to get these shipped from the US, which I wasn't too keen on because of the sustainability aspect of having something shipped over from the other side of the world. But a brief backstory about my experience so far with XERO Shoes hasn't been very successful, and I mentioned this in a video that I did just a couple of weeks ago where I reviewed my Feel Grounds sandals. I have spent possibly the last year or so trying to find a practical walking shoe or walking sandal replacement for my conventional ones. So I owned a pair of Caramels before that, which is a fairly typical outdoorsy mainstream brand here in the UK, and I sold them on eBay a couple of months ago and I haven't found a replacement for them yet. And I've been getting quite frustrated because I felt that XERO Shoes was the best company to go for in terms of a walking sandal or a practical outdoorsy sandal. I bought their Jessies a couple of months ago. It's a very, very minimalist sandal. It wasn't a walking sandal as such, it's more of a casual everyday pair. And I bought them in two different sizes from the UK site. And unfortunately, the toe ring was so tight, it felt like it was almost cutting the circulation off to my big toe. So that was a real disappointment. Even the bigger size, it was still just as tight. So I think my feet are fairly average, my toes are fairly average in size, so I don't know how anybody can wear them. And I did contact them to see whether maybe it could have been a manufacturing fault, and they didn't seem to think that it was, so unfortunately I had to send those back. And I also purchased a pair of their Z Trails as well. So very similar to these. I'll try and pop a photo up here or here just to show you what those are. And I bought them in a men's size 5, so that's the smallest men's size that they did, and I'm a size between 5 and 6 usually, so I thought I would get away with that, and unfortunately they were just too big and they weren't comfortable, so I had to send those back as well. So this has been a long time coming. I've really been waiting for these sandals, kind of almost apprehensively as well, like I said, because they were shipped over from the US. So the reason that I've bought them from their American site is because their UK site seemed to just go out of stock virtually of everything in the last 6 months, particularly of the sandals that I've been keeping my eye on. And I contacted them and asked if they were going to get new stock, and it was always a little bit vague, and they said maybe towards the middle of this year. And I recently checked and they got some new stock in of the Z Trail, so not these ones, and they didn't do a colour that I wanted, so they never came back in the brown colour that I purchased in the men's version before, and they brought them out in, I think, a dusty pink, which is not my thing. So I thought, okay, I've had enough now, I'm going to just bite the bullet and check out their American site. And actually I was never as big of a fan of this style as I was of the Z Trails, so I prefer the look of the Z Trails. But actually when I saw these on the American site and they're all brown, which they don't do in the UK, I thought, okay, this is the pair for me. I really like the colour, you know, and actually the style of them, it's actually growing on me, and I'm actually glad that I didn't get that Z Trail pair in the end. So my partner owns the brown Z Trails in a men's size 10, I think, and we already have quite a lot of matching barefoot shoes and wardrobe items, so maybe it's a good thing that we have a different pair. But yes, I did say that would be a brief backstory. Sorry if that went on for a bit long, but I did want to explain, I've mentioned it briefly in other videos, where I was hoping to add XERO Shoes as a company to my barefoot shoe collection. So like I said, I was apprehensive about having them shipped from the US. It's not the most sustainable thing to do. If you can get things locally or from your own country or even Europe, that's much better. But I really have spent a very long time trying to find a pair that I like the look of and that also are a convenient colour that match my wardrobe. As a minimalist, I stick to a very small amount of colours. So yeah, finally I am really happy with them, and I was a bit scared trying them on because, as I say, every pair from XERO Shoes that I've bought so far hasn't been successful, and I'm really pleased to say that they are the perfect fit. Now, I will say that their sizing is a little bit complicated. For some reason, they come up in a half size when you convert it to a UK size. So these were a women's US 7, but it's converted it to a UK 5.5, which I'm a bit confused by because a whole number being 37 doesn't usually convert to a half size in a UK. It does say on their website, so I've got my computer here just to refer to, it says the Z Trek runs about half size large, but only comes in whole sizes. So if I'm being honest, that was a little bit confusing, and I'm not sure how I would be able to recommend for you to do it, but they do have a printable template, which I didn't do. And once I purchased them, I did consider purchasing another pair just in case, because of my poor experience so far. I was worried about, you know, having to send a pair back and more shipping costs and things like that. But anyway, as it turns out, these are actually the perfect size. So it's a US women's 7, which equates to a UK women's 5.5. I don't know why that is, but surprisingly they fit perfectly. Some of the reviews do talk about how they are a little bit big in the front of the toe box, so they're a little bit longer here than usual Barefoot sandals, or particularly ones that XERO Shoes make. So I was worried about that, but actually they are absolutely fine. And what I'm going to do, if that's something that you'd like to see, is potentially make an updated video where I can show you hopefully me wearing them, and also my experience of actually wearing them outdoors, because it's not quite warm enough just yet. So I'm more than happy to do an updated video of them to let you know how I get on wearing them, and you know, what they're actually like long term and outdoors and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm just going to briefly run through a description of them and maybe the things that I'm not too much of a fan of, and then the things that I think are brilliant. And then I'll try and wrap this video up, because I know that I have a tendency to talk a lot when I get nervous. So yeah, I'm going to start by saying that the colour is my favourite thing about them. I have a very minimal wardrobe and I wear a handful of colours only. So browns and tans and autumnal colours are what I have in my wardrobe. So these match absolutely everything, particularly green, which is my favourite colour. So I'm really in love with the colour. The thin sole is what I think is probably most extraordinary on these. So the Feel Grounds that I reviewed just a couple of weeks ago, their Seaside sandal, they also have extremely thin soles. But for such an outdoorsy sandal, so you can see the tread here, I think it's amazing that they are that thin. They're obviously super flexible, and I always do the signature barefoot shoe roll in all of my videos. Even the heel is flexible, which is really actually quite unusual. So yeah, the flexibility of them is pretty amazing. They're super lightweight, very thin, as you can see. So they have this kind of heel bed, I think you may call it. I don't know, hoping you can see that. So yeah, it does like a cup, a heel cup, and then it kind of holds the straps in here at the sides. So this strap is completely adjustable. So right from the front here, you can pull it in, and then that pulls in automatically in the middle, and then you basically adjust it here with this fastening part here, and then there's a little loop that sits over the strap there. I'm hoping that you can see this. I'm looking behind in the mirror, and yeah, so you just basically adjust it like that. They also have a Velcro strap on the back, but personally I just want to leave the Velcro strap alone. I think also for durability reasons, because the Velcro obviously at some point will wear down, so I'd rather just leave it in place. And I think they actually recommend that on their website or in one of their YouTube videos anyway, just to adjust it with this strap instead. So yeah, I love the colour, I love how thin they are, I love that they are a practical outdoorsy sandal with quite a deep tread but still super thin. One of the things that I wasn't happy about was the packaging. And like I said in my Feel Grounds video that I did a couple of weeks ago of their Seaside Sandals, sorry. They came in a cardboard box, so I was happy about that, but the mailing bag was plastic. And same with XERO Shoes, unfortunately even worse, they don't come in a box, and they come in this kind of double sort of plastic bag here, so one shoe fits in that one, one in the other one, so that's not great. Although actually, as I'm reading this, it says on the back this is not a plastic bag. This bag was made with renewable plant-based materials and is 100% compostable. Okay, so I've literally just read that as I'm filming this video, so they have just redeemed themselves. Well done, XERO Shoes. So that's fantastic. Okay, so obviously I can take all of that back. Okay, so that changes things slightly. However, the mailing bag is plastic, unfortunately. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed in that because, like I've said in the past, in this day and age, it's really, really easy for companies and businesses to send their products in paper mailing bags. For example, I buy from BAM, which is Bamboo Clothing, and they send all of their items plastic free in paper mailing bags. So it's definitely possible. I'm sure that it involves more of a cost for the company, but I think, you know, sustainability is really important. So yes, okay, that the bag that the shoes or the sandals come in is compostable, but the mailing bag was plastic. So yeah, still partly disappointed in that respect. So the fit of them is a little bit strange compared to other barefoot shoes or barefoot sandals that I've tried on. I feel like for a barefoot minimalist sandal, one of the main principles of barefoot shoes is to allow your feet to spread naturally and give your feet natural freedom, unlike conventional shoes which restrict them. So I feel like the placement of this strap here is maybe not ideal because it does keep the little toe in really quite snug, so it doesn't allow for spreading like a sandal where it's open on both sides. So for example, my Feel Grounds ones that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. So in that respect, it's a bit of a shame, but I'm not particularly worried about my feet deforming in these because I'm not going to be wearing them every day of the year. And all of my shoes now are barefoot. I wear exclusively barefoot shoes. And then I do like this heel cup. I think that it's probably, you know, it's been put on for a purpose. It's protective. It keeps the foot in the sandal, prevents it sliding about. However, having also read reviews about this, it does kind of, you can feel it when you walk in them, if that makes sense. So like I said, I haven't worn these outdoors yet, and I found that my heel was almost slightly coming, not on top of it, but you could almost feel it. And I think just a bit of adjustment and getting used to them, that's not going to be a problem. It wasn't enough for me to want to send them back, and if they weren't short of perfect, I would send them back because they were not cheap. So these cost $85 in total, and that includes shipping and taxes. Unfortunately, buying things from the UK from other countries incurs loads of extra fees, which is really annoying, which is the equivalent to around £72 British pounds. And they took 9 working days to arrive, so just shy of 2 weeks. They arrived this morning. I ordered them, I think, on the 19th, so that's about 9 working days. So it's not too bad. So in terms of the materials that they're made of, there isn't a great description of them, I must say, on their website. It says that the Z-Trek is an upgrade to the popular original, now with smooth, tubular nylon straps made from recycled materials. And the sole, I'm assuming, is rubber. I mean, it doesn't really say, but it's got obviously the dual direction chevron tread, which provides confident grip. That is pretty cool, I have to say. I really, really like that. So in terms of whether they are vegan or not, no leather is being used, so I'm classing them as vegan, but I will say that it doesn't say on their website that they are specifically vegan. So just to let you know about that, if that's something that's important to you. And what else can I say? I mean, I'm really excited to start wearing them. Let me just give you one last look here. You know, the flexibility of them is pretty unreal. I think even compared to my Feel Grounds Seaside sandals that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, these are even more flexible. So I'm really looking forward to that barefoot, true earthing, grounding kind of feel that is one of the biggest benefits of wearing barefoot shoes. And yeah, like I said, if you would be interested in me doing an updated video of them once I've worn them for maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of months or so. It won't be for a while yet because, as I say, it's not warm enough. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you found it helpful. As always, if you do enjoy my content, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It really means the world to me as a small content creator. Also give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section, as always, if there's anything that you'd like to chat about or anything that you'd like to ask me. Also feel free to share this video with anybody if you think it might help them as well. In the meantime, take care and stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!